Oh, what is that, bro? Is it a campfire? Well, welcome everyone. Today, we're going to do a live reading of the Epic of Gilgamesh. Yeah, it's 3 in the morning, but I just woke up, so maybe I should do something. You know what I mean? That's my cat. Yeah. I think she's a cat now, but she's still kind of small. I guess you won't see her today. We will be reading the Epic of Gilgamesh from myths from Mesopotamia, the oldest civilization, I believe. Yeah. Let's begin. So we were on tablet 3. Do not trust entirely, Gilgamesh, in your own strength. Honestly, bro, I'm so tired. Maybe I shouldn't read. It's because I'm high, so you know what? Am I allowed to talk about that on stream? When you have looked long enough, trust to your first blow. He who leads the way will save his comrade. He who knows the path, he will guard his friend, letting Enkidu go in front of you. He knows the way of the pine forest. He can look at the fight and instruct in the battle. Let Enkidu guard the friend, keep the comrade safe, bring him back safe in person for brides, so that we in our assembly may rely on you as king, and that you in turn as king may rely on us again. Gilgamesh made his voice heard and spoke. He said to Enkidu, "Come, my friend, let us go to the great palace, to Ninsun, the great queen. Ninsun is wise, all-knowing. She understands. She will set the steps of good advice at our feet." They grasped each other by the hand, and Gilgamesh and Enkidu went to the great palace, to Ninsun, the great queen. Gilgamesh rose up and entered into Ninsun. I am adamant. I shall take the distant path to where Humbaba lives. I shall face unknown opposition. I shall ride along an unknown road until the day when, having traveled far and wide, I finally reach the pine forest, until I slay ferocious Humbaba and exterminate from the land something evil which Shamash hates. So, it seems like Gilgamesh wants to kill this Humbaba for some reason. I don't know if I caught the reason why earlier in the tablets. Maybe I missed something. Someone is challenging Gilgamesh, definitely to a battle, and I don't remember who though. Oh, Enkidu. I don't know. Someone wants to challenge. I don't know. Let's move on. This is hard to read. Well, that page was fairly simple though, but the poetry's kind of weird. And then we skip 5 lines because they lost. Is this gay porn? Where is the goon corner? Dude, that's crazy. No, it's not gay porn. This is a live reading. Into your presence, Ninsun paid attention to all the worlds of Gilgamesh, her son. Some guy thought that was porn. That's wild. That's fucking wild. Ninsun entered her chamber, so plant. She put on a garment adornment of her body. Put on toggle pins, adornment her breast, wore her crown on her head. She went up to the roof. She came before Shamash, made a smoke offering, made a Surkinu offering before Shamash, and raised her arms. Why did you single out my son Gilgamesh and impose a restless spirit on him? Now you shall have affected him, and he will take the distant path to where Humbaba lives. He faces an unknown struggle. He will ride along an unknown road until the day when, having traveled far and wide, he finally reaches the pine forest, until he slays ferocious Humbaba and exterminates from the land something evil which you hate. On the day when you, at the side of May Aya, the daughter-in-law, not be too fearful of you to commend him to you, entrust him to the night watchman. Whip. There's a gap of about 13 lines. And then there's another gap for about another 13 lines. And then the tablet continues. She extinguished the smoke offering, and she called Enkidu to her and gave her decision. Enkidu, you are a strong man, though not from my womb. Oh, I get it. Like, though not from my blood. Now, your offspring shall be dedicated to Shamash with the oblates of Gilgamesh. Priestesses, devotees, and votaresses. She placed symbols around Enkidu's neck, saying, Priestesses have accepted the orphan. The daughters of gods have adopted a foundling. I hereby take Enkidu to be my son. Gilgamesh shall accept Enkidu as his brother. Ooh, there's like 3 lines fragmentary. And then to the pine forest, whether a month or whether a year, or then there's a gap for about 4 lines. A damaged fragment indicates that Gilgamesh and Enkidu made offerings of juniper and incense at a shrine. A door of pine is mentioned, perhaps promised to Elil in return for success against Humbaba. Interesting. Then this gap and the next gap represent about 27 lines. Man, I wish we had all of the tablets intact. That would have been cool. I can't believe this story is like 3,000 years old. Wow. Yeah, that's insane, bro. This story came before the Odyssey. That's crazy. I don't know. I don't remember. I think this is the old standard. I think it's the standard Babylonian version. So I don't know, man. I gotta do some research later. Let Enkidu guard the friend, keep the comrade safe. Let him bring back safe in person for brides, so that we in our assembly may rely on you as king, and that you in turn as king may rely on us again. Enkidu made his voice heard and spoke. He said to Gilgamesh, my friend, turn back, a journey that is not. Then there's a gap, and then the tablet ends. Wait, oh my god, see supplement? Dude, I just saw a note and it says, see supplement 3, page 341. What the heck? What the heck is on page 341? Supplements. See page 66? Oh my gosh. It's like an adventure. Within column of tablet 3, which contained up to 55 lines, an unpublished fragment with 4 lines of text contains the last 2 lines of a speech. Perhaps Gilgamesh addressing the city elders, telling them to maintain law and order in his absence. Then a farewell in which the elders, gather and address Gilgamesh. Do not trust entirely, Gilgamesh, in your own strength. When you have looked long enough, trust to your first blow. He who leads the way will save his comrade. He who knows the path, he will guard his friend. Let Enkidu go in front of you. He knows the way of the pine forest. He can look at the fight and instruct in the battle. I wonder how many supplements I skipped. Let me find out. What page am I on? 67. I'm gonna go see if oh my god, there are supplements. Oh my god, how many supplements did I skip? Let's find out. Yeah, I'm gonna read them all right now. I can't read the Atrahasis was interesting. Oh, Elil is in Atrahasis. Interesting. Who's Elil? Wow. He's like the counselor warrior, Elil. That's funny. Oh, Hello is like one of the first humans. And see if there's any gaps in this. I mean, supplements. I'm on page 18 out of 66. Hold on. We're in tablet 2 of Atrahasis. Atrahasis is a guy who helped with the flood. He's basically Noah. Some people think they can translate his name to Noah, but I would have to hear the arguments on it. Oh look, supplement 1 on page 338. Oh, that's cool. Let's find out what it says. It's like I'm a little treasure hunter. Okay. This man whose prayers reach me, do go quickly and bring me news of him, and ask him to give me a report about his country. They crossed the wide seas until they arrived at the harbor of Apsu. They repeated Ea's message to Atrahasis. Are you the man who is weeping? Is it your plea that went down to the Apsu? Ea has heard your voice, and he has sent us to you. If Ea has really heard me, what has reached him? They answered straight away. They addressed Atrahasis. As sleep began to overtake you, the irrigation water took the offering, the river carried it. The gift was placed in front of Ea, your lord. Ea saw it and thought of you, and so he sent us to you. He bowed down, kissed the ground in front of them. The Lamu creatures returned into the seas. Ea made his voice heard and spoke. He addressed Usmu, his vizier. Go out to Atrahasis and tell him my order, saying, the state of the country is according to the behavior of its people. Usmu, Ea's vizier, addressed Esterhazy, saying, "The state of the country is according to the behavior of its people. If water has left it, if grain has left the fields, it is because to me they have left them. The country is like a young man who falls flat on his face. He has fallen down and is not nourished from the teats of the sky. The land has been shaken off a dried fig onto the ground. Above, the teats of the sky are sealed, and below, the water from the depths is bolted. It does not flow. The dark plowland has whitened. That is why in the pasture land grass does not sprout." Huh. Interesting. Let's go find supplement 2. Yeah, let's just go all the way back there. It says supplement 2 should be, oh what? Page 65. That's crazy. Aren't I just read that, didn't I? Alright, let's read it. An unpublished fragment with 27 lines of text continues the speech of Ninsun. She invokes the help of Aya to persuade Shamash to send 13 winds against Humbaba so that the weapons of Gilgamesh will prevail, and to remind Shamash to look after Gilgamesh at every moment of danger. She prays that Gilgamesh may win a place among the great gods of sky, earth, and underworld. Aya was the daughter-in-law of Shamash, so she was well placed to intercede for Ninsun. I don't know. I feel like I already read this. Yeah, I already read that one. Okay, let's go find some more. Oh shit. No, I just got spoiled. I didn't read that right. So, yeah, I know you missed the flood myth, but don't worry, Gilgamesh is literally story number 2, so who cares? I'll be back. Oh shit, I didn't know. Let's go find more supplements. Who knows how many I skipped? It looks like not many. Okay. We can actually go back to the story. Um, it hasn't. I don't know what this is. Alright. We could go back to the story. For Gilgamesh, we're on tablet 4 from myths of Mesopotamia, the oldest recorded human civilization. So tablet 4 begins with a gap of about 5 lines. At 20 leagues, they ate their ration. At 30 leagues, they stopped for the night. 50 leagues, they traveled during the day. The distance took from the new moon to the full moon. Then 3 days more, they came to Lebanon. There, they dug a pit in front of Shamash. They refilled their water skins. Gilgamesh went up to the mountain and made his flower offering to, O mountain, bring me a dream, a favorable one. And Kidu arranged it for him for Gilgamesh. A dust devil passed by, and it fixed. He made him lie down inside the circle and, like wild barley, blood. Wow, that tablet must have been messed up. Gilgamesh sat with his chin on his knees. Sleep, which spills out over people, overcame him. In the middle which he finished his sleep, he rose up and said to his friend, My friend, didn't you call me? Then why am I awake? Didn't you touch me? Why am I so upset? Didn't a god pass by? Then why is my flesh so feeble? My friend, I had a dream, and the dream that I had was extremely upsetting. At the foot of the mountain, hit, we were like flies. He who was born in open country, and Enkidu explained the dream to his friend. My friend, your dream is favorable. The dream is very significant. My friend, that the mountain which you saw means we shall seize Humbaba, slay him, and cast his corpse onto the waste ground. At the light of dawn, we shall hear the favorable word of Shamash. At 20 leagues, they ate their ration. At 30 leagues, they stopped for the night. There, they dug a pit in front of Shamash. Gilgamesh went up to the mountains and made his flower offering to, O mountain, bring me a dream, a favorable one. And Kidu arranged it for him, for Gilgamesh. Then, in tablet 4, there was a gap into which the following may be restored. A dust devil passed by, and it fixed. He made him lie down inside the circle, and, like wild barley, Gilgamesh sat with his chin on his knees. Sleep, which spills out over people, overcame him. In the middle watch, he finished his sleep. He rose up and said to his friend, My friend, didn't you call me? Then why am I awake? Didn't you touch me? Why am I so upset? Didn't a god pass by? Then why is my flesh so feeble? My friend, I had a second dream, and the dream that I had was extremely upsetting. The contents of the second dream are not preserved. Damn! And then there's about 20 lines that are missing from tablet 4 in Gilgamesh. My friend, this is the explanation of your dream. Humbaba like, until the light flared up, we shall place on top of him. We were furious. At Humbaba, we stood over him, and in the morning the word of Shamash was favorable. At 20 leagues, they ate their ration. At 30 leagues, they stopped for the night. 50 leagues, they traveled during the day. There they dug a pit in front of Shamash. They refilled their water skins. Gilgamesh went up to the mountain and made his flower offering to, O mountain, bring me a dream, a favorable one. And Kidu arranged it for him, for Gilgamesh. A dust devil passed by, and it fixed. He made him lie down inside the circle and, like wild barley, Gilgamesh sat with his chin on his knees. Sleep, which spills out over people, overcame him. In the middle, he finished his sleep. He rose up and said to his friend, "My friend, didn't you call me? Then why am I awake? Didn't you touch me? Why am I so upset? Didn't a god pass by? Then why is my flesh so feeble? My friend, I had a third dream, and the dream that I had was extremely upsetting. Heaven cried out, earth groaned, day grew silent, darkness emerged, lightning flashed, fire broke out, flames crackled, death rained down. Then sparks were dimmed and the fire was extinguished." Damn, that was really good. The coals which kept falling turned to embers. "Let us go back down to open country where we can get advice." Enkidu listened and made him accept his dream. He spoke to Gilgamesh. Then there's an interpretation of the third dream missing, and then there's a gap for about 23 lines. And then about 6 lines of 45 partly are preserved. "One alone cannot. They are strangers. It is a slippery path, and one does not. But two, a 3-stranded cord is hardest to break. A strong lion cannot prevail over 2 of its own cubs." Column 5, non-extant, gap. Then there's a gap for about 45 lines. And then there's another gap for about 15 lines. Enkidu made his voice heard and spoke. He said to Gilgamesh, "How can I go down into the pine forest or open up the path when my arms are paralyzed?" Gilgamesh made his voice heard and spoke. He said to Enkidu, "Why, my friend, do we talk like cowards? We can cross all the mountains to our face before we have cut down pines. My friend, experienced in conflict, who has? Battle. You have rubbed yourself with plants, so you need not fear death. You shall have a double mantle of radiance like. Your shout will be as loud as a kettle drum. Paralysis shall leave your arms, and impotence shall leave your loins. Hold my hand, my friend, let us set off. Your heart shall soon burn for conflict. Forget death and think only of life. Man is strong, prepared to fight, responsible. He who goes in front and guards his friends' body shall keep the comrade safe. They shall have established the fame for their future. They arrived together, of their words they stood." Then there's a catch line. "They stood and admired the forest." That was really good. That was my favorite tablet. That was really good. I actually like that one. That was my favorite. So it was really hard to understand the characters, and so it was kind of hard for me to like the characters or follow them, or relate to them, because, well, I guess Gilgamesh is some kind of deity. I don't know. Like, isn't Gilgamesh like, he was just like born kind of strong? He's like a little Hercules. I don't know. That was really good. That was my favorite. I don't know. The story of Gilgamesh isn't over, but I also like the story of Atrahasis. I thought it was cool. I'm actually reading Noah's Ark at the moment in the Bible. So, well, maybe I'm thinking about reading the Bible. I don't know about the Quran and the Jewish Hebrew Bible, maybe. I don't know. Probably not. But I think it'd be fun. The Indian Bible, right? Alright. Every Bible. Tablet 5. This story is older than the Bible, so I picked this one up. This is the standard Babylonian version of Tablet 5. Let's see what was Tablet 4's. I think it was also the standard Babylonian version. It doesn't say, but I'm pretty sure it is. Tablet 5, standard Babylonian version. They stood at the edge of the forest, gazed and gazed at the height of the pines, gazed and gazed at the entrance to the pines, where Humbaba made tracks as he went to and fro. The paths were well trodden and the road was excellent. They beheld the pine mountain, dwelling place of gods, shrine of Ernini. Fuck, man. The pines held up their luxuriance even on the face of the mountain. Their shade was good, filling one with happiness. Undergrowth burgened, entangling the forest. I don't know what that means. I'll be back. Undergrowth burgened, entangling the forest. I don't know what that means. I'll be back. It means to begin to grow rapidly, flourishly. Whatever. That's cool. Where was I? There's 8 fragmentary lines and then a gap. They entered the forest and found Humbaba? We already found Humbaba? Bro, the story is over. We just gotta kill it. Game over. Humbaba made his voice heard and spoke. He said to Gilgamesh, The fool Gilgamesh and the brutish man ought to ask themselves, why have you come to see me? Your friend Enkidu is a small fry who does not know his own father. A small fry? That's crazy. Why are they talking like that? This is not the original text then. This is the standard this is the standard Babylonian version. I probably want to read the old Babylonian version then. But maybe they have the old Babylonian version in this book too. You are so very, very small that I regard you as I do a turtle or a tortoise, which does not suck in its mother's milk, so I do not approach you. Even if I were to kill you, would I satisfy my stomach? Why, Gilgamesh, have you let him reach me? So I shall bite through his windpipe and neck, Gilgamesh, and leave his body. For birds of the forest, roaring lions, birds of prey and scavengers. Okay. Well, I don't know his powers, so, and I'm not sure if I care about Gilgamesh that much. So, I mean, he's alright. He's just a guy who's just chilling. I don't know why he took on this quest. It was to help Enkidu become, like, famous, right? Something like that. And I was reading another book. I finished it. When we finish this entire thing, I'm definitely gonna read some Egyptian myths later, but because I don't think there's Egyptian myths in here. Yeah, myths from Mesopotamia. But after we finish reading this, we're actually gonna read Solaris by Stanislaw Lem. But let's continue. I'm excited. I don't know where I was. A tortoise, lion. Gilgamesh made his voice heard and spoke. He said to Enkidu, My friend, Umbaba has changed his mood and has come upon him, and my heart trembles lest he suddenly Enkidu made his voice heard and spoke. He said to Gilgamesh, "My friend, why do you talk like a coward? And your speech was feeble, and you tried to hide? Now, my friend, he has drawn you out with the blowpipe of the coppersmith for heating, to count back each league swollen with heat, each league or cold, to dispatch the flood weapon, to lash with the whip. Don't retrace your footsteps, don't turn back. Make your blows harder." Then there's a gap of a few lines. Gilgamesh's tears flowed before Shamash. "Remember what you said in Uruk? Stand there and listen to me." Shamash heard the words of Gilgamesh, scion of Uruk, and said, "As soon as a loud voice from the sky calls down to him, rush, stand up to him, and let him not enter the forest. Let him not go down to the wood, nor Humbaba will not be clothed in 7 cloaks. He will be wearing only one. 6 are taken off like a charging wild bull, which pierces. He shouts only once, but fills one with terror. The guardian of the forest will shout. Humbaba will shout. A gap of uncertain length. They're here to find Humbaba, and they're talking with Shamash right now. Oh, okay. Where was I? As soon as the swords from the sheaths streak with verdigris, dagger, sword, one they wore, Humbaba made his voice heard and spoke. He will not go. He will not go. 7 lines are illegible. May Elil Enkidu made his voice heard and spoke. He addressed his speech to Humbaba. One alone cannot. They are strangers. It is a slippery path and one does not, but two. A 3-stranded cord is hardest to break. A strong lion cannot prevail over 2 of its own cubs. 3 broken lines, then there's a gap of uncertain length, then 2 broken lines, and then this is the LV version we're gonna read of whatever we're about to read. I don't know what that was. Let me go find it. The late version. Text dating between 612 BC and the end of the Seleucid era from Babylon. Oh wow, from Babylonia. That's cool. Wow, from Babylonia. That's cool. Check it out then. He stuck his head and matched them. They stirred up the ground with the heels of their feet. Sierra and Lebanon were split apart at their gyrations. White clouds grew black. Death dropped down over them like a fog. Shamash summoned up great tempests against Humbaba. South wind, north wind, east wind, west wind, moaning wind. Gale, Saparziku wind, Imulu wind, wind Asaku, wintry wind, tempest, whirlwind. 13 winds rose up at him, and Humbaba's face grew dark. He could not change forwards, he could not run backwards. Then the weapons of Gilgamesh succeeded against Humbaba. Oh wow. It doesn't, So it was a team up. Humbaba gasped for breath. He addressed Gilgamesh. "You are young, Gilgamesh. Your mother gave birth to you, and you are the offspring of blank. You rose at the command of Shamash, lord of the mountain. And you are the scion of Uruk, King Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh. There's a lot of skips, so we don't know what he's saying to Gilgamesh. I shall make them grow luxuriantly for you in as many trees as you. I shall keep for you myrtle wood, timbers to be the pride of your palace." Enkidu made his voice heard and spoke. He said to Gilgamesh, my friend, don't listen to the words of Humbaba. 3 broken lines, a gap for about 15 lines. You have found... I don't want to mess up my book. I'm like bending it and shit. You have found out the nature of my forest, the nature of my dwelling, and now you know all there. I should have taken you and slain you at the entrance of my forest growth. I should have given your flesh to be eaten to the birds of the forest, roaring lions, birds of prey, and scavengers. But now, Enkidu, it is in your power to tell Gilgamesh to spare my life. Enkidu made his voice heard and spoke. He said to Gilgamesh, my friend, finish him off, slay him, grind him up that I may survive. Humbaba, the guardian of the pine forest, finish him off, slay him, grind him up that I may survive. Humbaba, the guardian of the forest, do it before the leader Enlil hears, lest the gods be filled with fury at us. Enlil and Nippur, Shamash and Sipar set up an eternal memorial to tell how Gilgamesh slew Humbaba. Humbaba listened, and damn, there's a gap for about 20 lines and then another gap for about 24 lines. I don't know who's gonna... Someone's talking now. You sit like a shepherd, and just like now, Enkidu thus settle your own release, and tell Gilgamesh that he may save his life. Enkidu made his voice heard and spoke. He said to Gilgamesh, my friend, finish him off. Humbaba, the guardian of the pine forest, finish him off, slay him, and grind him up, that I may survive. Do it before the leader Enlil hears, lest the gods be filled with fury at us. Enlil and Nippur, Shamash and Sipar set up an eternal memorial to tell how Gilgamesh slew Humbaba. Humbaba listened, and there's a gap for about 13 lines. Neither one of them shall outlive his friend. Gilgamesh and Enkidu shall never become old men. Enkidu made his voice heard, and he said to Gilgamesh, my friend, I talk to you, but you don't listen to me. Then there's 2 broken lines of his friend at his side. Until he pulled out the entrails, it springs away, sharpens teeth. Abundance fell onto the mountain. Did he kill him? Abundance fell onto the mountain. They threw him off a mountain. I don't know. Well, they're on a forest actually, so I don't know. Then there's 8 lines missing to end of the column. Then there's a gap for about 22 lines. Their dark patch of verdigris, Gilgamesh was cutting down the trees, and Enkidu kept tugging at the stumps. Enkidu made his voice heard and spoke. He said to Gilgamesh, my friend, I have a fully mature pine cut down, the crown of which butted against the sky. I made a door 6 poles high and 2 poles wide. Its doorpost is a cubit. Its lower and upper hinges are made from a single. Let the Euphrates carry it to Nippur. They tied together a raft they put down. Enkidu embarked, and Gilgamesh, the head of Humbaba, catch line. He washed his filthy hair. He cleaned his gear. Colophon, 5th tablet, series of Gilgamesh. Series of Gilgamesh. We're on tablet 6 now. I mean, they were defending themselves. It's alright. Think I like the other tablet more. Tablet 4 was so dope. Yeah, I like tablet 4 more. I don't know why. I think it's because tablet 5 kept repeating itself, and I was like, ugh. There's like 3 versions, you know? Like, so I'm just rereading it, and it gives me time for old viewers to listen to it, and they didn't catch it, they reread it. And some of the different versions, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't want to say versions because the way that this book says versions, it means standard Babylonian version and late version, blah blah blah. But what I mean version right now is like, I don't know. I'll show you a picture maybe later. It's just weird. It like repeats itself, but it's all the same version. But it's as if like they found like different translations or something. I don't know. Or I don't get it. Tablet 6, and this is the standard Babylonian version. He washed his filthy hair, he cleaned his gear, shook out his locks over his back, threw away his dirty clothes, and put on fresh ones. He clothed himself in robes and tied on a sash. Gilgamesh put his crown on his head, and Ishtar the princess raised her eyes to the beauty of Gilgamesh. Come to me, Gilgamesh, and be my lover. Bestow on me the gift of your fruit. You can be my husband, and I can be your wife. I shall have a chariot of lapis lazuli and gold harness for you. With wheels of gold and horns of elmesu stone, you shall harness Emu demons as great mules. Enter into our house through the fragrance of pine. Down. When you enter our house, the wonderfully wrought threshold shall kiss your feet. Kings, nobles, princes shall bow down beneath you. The verdure of the mountain and country shall bring you produce. Your goats shall bear triplets, your ewes twins. Your loaded donkey shall outpace the mule. Your horses shall run proud at the chariot. Your ox shall be unrivaled at the yoke. Gilgamesh made his voice heard and spoke. He said to Ishtar the princess, what could I give you if I possessed you? I would give you body, oil, and garments. I would give you food and sustenance. Could I provide you with bread fit for gods? Could I provide you with ale fit for kings? Could I heap up a rope? I possess you? Ice. No, you would be ice. A droughty door that can't be keep out winds and gusts. A palace that rejects its own warriors. An elephant which its coverings bitumen which stains the carrier. This is a juggernaut which smashes a stone wall. A battering ram which destroys blank of war. A shoe which bites into the foot of its wearer. Which of your lovers lasted forever? Which of your masterful paramours went to heaven? Come, let me describe your lovers to you. He of the sheep knew him. For Jamuzi, the lover of your youth, you decreed that he should keep weeping year after year. You loved the colorful Ala Alu bird, but you hit him and broke his wing. Damn, what a bitch, to be honest. He says in the woods crying my wing. You love the lion whose strength is complete, but you dug 7 and 7 pits for him. You love the horse so trustworthy in battle, but you decreed the whip, goad, and lash for him. You decreed that he should gallop 7 leagues non-stop. You decreed that he should be overwrought and thirsty. You decreed endless weeping for his mother, Sililu. You loved the shepherd, herdsman, and chief shepherd, who was always heaping up the glowing ashes for you, and cooked ewe lambs for you every day. Fuck. But you hid him and turned him into a wolf, his own Herd boys hunt him down, and his dogs tear at his haunches. You loved Ishulanu, your father's a gardener. No, your father's gardener, who was always bringing you baskets of dates. They brightened your table every day. You lifted your eyes to him and went to him. My own Ishulanu, let us enjoy your strength. So put out your hand and touch our vulva. But Ishalanu said to you, me? What do you want of me? Did my mother not bake for me, and did I not eat? What I eat with you would be loaves of dishonor and disgrace. Oh, what is this? I had to verify something. Stupid puzzle, bro. He said, did I not eat, bro? Did I not eat? Rushes would be my only covering against the cold. You listened as he said this, and you hid him, turned him into a frog, led him to stay amid the fruits of his labors. But the pole goes up no more. His bucket goes down no more. And how about me? You will love me and then treat me just like them. Damn, that was insane speech. When Ishtar heard this, Ishtar was furious and went up to heaven. Ishtar went up and wept before her father Anu. Her tears flowed before her mother Antu. Father, Gilgamesh has shamed me again and again. Gilgamesh spelt over to me my dishonor and my disgrace, and made his voice heard and spoke. He said to the princess Ishtar, why didn't you accuse Gilgamesh the king yourself? Since Gilgamesh spelled out your dishonor and your disgrace. Ishtar made her voice heard and spoke. She said to her father Anu, Father, please give me the bowl of heaven and let me strike Gilgamesh down. Let me, Gilgamesh, in his dwelling. If you don't give me the bowl of heaven, I shall strike. I shall set my face towards the infernal regions. I shall raise up the dead, and they will eat the living. I shall make the dead outnumber the living. Anu made his voice heard and spoke. He said to the princess Ishtar, on no account should you request the bowl of heaven from me. There would be 7 years of chaff in the land of Uruk. You would gather chalk instead of germs. You would raise grass instead of what? Ishtar made her voice heard and spoke. She said to her father Anu, I have heaped up a store of grain in Uruk. I have ensured the production of years of chaff has been gathered. Grass for him. Then there's a gap of 1 or more lines. Of the bowl of heaven. Anu listened to Ishtar speaking, and he put the bowl of heaven reins in her hands. What? Oh my God. She's crazy. She's crazy. And this is old story too. It's cool. Someone saved Gilgamesh. He's about to get struck with the bowl of heaven. Ishtar took hold and directed it. When it arrived in the land of Uruk, it went down to the river and 7. River. Fuck, we don't even know? At the snorting of the bowl of heaven, a chasm opened up and 100 young men of Uruk fell into it. 200 young men, 300 young men. Damn, what a bitch. It was a sinkhole, really. At its second snorting, another chasm opened up and another 100 young men of Uruk fell into it. 200 young men, 300 young men fell into it. At its third snorting, a chasm opened up and Enkidu fell into it. but Enkidu leapt out. That shit was funny. The others didn't. He seized the bull of heaven by the horns. The bull of heaven blew spittle into his face. With its thick tail, it whipped up its dung. Enkidu made his voice heard and spoke. He said to Gilgamesh, "My friend, we were too arrogant when we killed Humbaba. How can we give recompense for our action? My friend, I have seen in my strength. Let me pull out. Let me seize. Let me in, and plunge your sword in between the base of the horns and the neck tendons." Enkidu spun round to the bull of heaven and seized it by its thick tail, and then Gilgamesh, like a butcher, heroic, and plunged his sword in between the base of the horns and the neck tendons. When they had struck down the bull of heaven, they pulled out its innards, set them before Shamash, backed away, and prostrated themselves before Shamash. Then the two brothers sat down. Ishtar went up to the wall of Uruk and the sheepfold. She was controlled with rage. She hurled down curses. Ha ha ha, fuck you, Ishtar. That man Gilgamesh, who reviled me, has killed the bull of heaven. Enkidu listened to Ishtar saying this, and he pulled out the bull of heaven's shoulder and slapped it into her face. If I could only get at you as that does, I would do the same to you myself. I would hang its intestines on your arms. Ishtar gathered the crimped courtesans, prostitutes, and harlots. She arranged her weeping over the bull of heaven's shoulder. Gilgamesh called craftsmen all the armorers, and the craftsmen admired the thickness of its horns. 30 mains of lapis lazuli was needed for each of their pouring ends. 2 minas of gold was needed for each of their sheathings. 6 core of oil was the capacity of both. He dedicated them for anointing his god Lugalbanda. Took them in and hung them on his bed where he slept, as head of the family. In the Euphrates, they washed their hands and held hands and came riding through the main street of Uruk. The people of Uruk gathered and gazed at them. Gilgamesh addressed a word to his retainers. Who is finest among the young men? Who is the proudest among the males? Gilgamesh is finest among the young men. Gilgamesh is proudest among the males. We knew in our anger there is nobody like him who can please her. Gilgamesh made merry in his palace. Then they lay down. The young men were lying in bed for the night, and Enkidu lay down and had a dream. Enkidu got up and described the dream. He said to his friend, Catchline, my friend, why are the great gods consulting together? That was probably the best one. That was pretty good. I was worried for Enkidu. They could have direct. They're just so somehow they're fucking powerful. Some fucking how. They're just that strong, I guess. Sinkholes can't. He just jumps out. He just jumps out. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Let's read Tablet 7. This is a pretty good story, actually. Huh. I like it. I like where it's going. The wolf. That was cool. That was cool. That was cool. Yeah. My friend, why are the great gods consulting together? There's a gap of about 20 lines which may partly be filled in essence from a Hittite version. What? Which is given here? Bro, That's so cool. We have a Hittite version. I'm also maybe I'll do some Hittite myths too. Yeah, they're cool. Then daylight came, and Enkidu said to Gilgamesh, "Oh my brother, what a dream I saw last night. Anu, Elil, Ea, and heavenly Shamash were in the assembly. And Anu said to Elil, as they have slain the bull of heaven, so too they have slain Huwawa, who guarded the mountains planted with pines. And Anu said, one of them must die. Elil replied, let Enkidu die. Wait, oh my god. But let Gilgamesh not die. Then heavenly Shamash said to valiant Elil, was it not according to your word that they slew the bull of heaven in Huwawa? Should now innocent Enkidu die? But Elil turned in anger to a heavenly Shamash, saying, the fact is, you accompany them daily like one of their comrades. Enkidu laid down before Gilgamesh, his tears flowing like streams. Oh, my brother is so dear to me, but they are taking me from my brother. And I shall sit among the dead. I shall, the threshold of the dead. Never again shall I see my dear brother with my own eyes. That's the end of the Hittite insertion. Enkidu made his voice heard and spoke. He said to his friend Gilgamesh, come in the door because there's 3 broken lines. Enkidu lifted up. He discussed with the door. Door, don't you remember the words? Are not. I selected the timber for you over 20 leagues until I had found a fully mature pine. There is no other wood like yours. Your height is 6 poles. Your width 2 poles. Your doorpost, your lower and upper hinge are made from a single tree. I made you. I carried you to Nippur. Be aware, door, that this was a favor to you. And this was what? Be aware, door, that this was a favor. Be aware, door, that this was a favor to you. And this was a good deed done for you. I myself raised the axe. I cut you down, loaded you myself onto the raft. I myself, temple of Shamash, I myself set you up in his gate. I myself, and in Uruk. 2 broken lines. Now, door, it was I who made you, I who carried you to Nippur. But the king who shall arise after me shall go through you. Oh. Gilgamesh shall go through your portals and change my name and put on his own name. He tore out the door and hurled. He kept listening to his words. Straightway, Gilgamesh kept listening to the words of his friend. Enkidu and his tears flowed. Gilgamesh made his voice heard and spoke. He said to Enkidu, you who used to be reasonable, now speak. Otherwise, why, my friend, did your heart speak? Otherwise, the dream was very precious and the warning awful. Your lips buzzed like flies. The warning was awful. The dream was precious. They have left a legacy of grieving for next year. The dream has left a legacy of grief for next year. Bro, you just said that. I shall go and offer prayers to the great gods. I shall search out your goddess, look for your god, the father of the gods, to Elil the counselor, father of the gods. I shall make a statue. I shall make a statue of you with countless gold. The words he spoke were not like. What he said did not go back, did not alter. That he cast did not go back, he did not erase. To the people, at the first light of morning, Enkidu raised his head, wept before Shamash. His tears flowed before the rays of the sun. I hereby beseech you, Shamash, because my fate is different, because the hunter, the brigand, did not let me attain as much as my friend. Let me, hunter, never attain as much as his friend. Make his advantage vanish. Make his strength less. His share from your presence. Let not enter, let it go out through the window. Oh, fuck. When he had cursed the hunter as he wanted, he decided to curse the harlot too. Come, Shamhat, I shall fix a fate for you. Curses shall not cease forever and ever. I shall curse you with a great curse. Straight away my curses shall rise up against you. Hold up, bro. Oh, okay. You shall never make your house voluptuous again. You shall not release of your young bulls. You shall not let them into the girl's room. Filth shall impregnate your lovely lap. The drunkard shall soak your party dress with vomit. Fingers, your cosmetic paint shall be the potter's lump of clay. You shall never obtain the best cosmetic oil. Bright silver, people's affluence, shall not accumulate in your house. The of yore shall be your porch. The crossroads shall be your only sitting place. Waste ground your only lying place. The shade of a city wall your only sitting place. Thorns and spikes shall skin your feet. The drunkard and the thirsty shall slap your cheek. Shall shout against you, the builder shall never plaster the walls of your house. Owls will nest in your roof's beams. Feasting shall never take place in your house. Then there's about 4 broken lines. Because you defiled, ouch. Let me sit. Let me get comfortable. Because you defiled me when I was pure. Because you seduced me in the open country when I was pure. Shamash heard the utterance of his mouth. Immediately a loud voice called down to him from the sky. Enkidu, why are you cursing my harlot Shamhat, who fed you on food fit for gods? Hold on. Gave you ale to drink fit for kings, clothed you with a great robe, then provided you with Gilgamesh and for a fine partner. And now Gilgamesh, the friend who is a brother to you, will lay you to rest on a great bed, and lay you to rest on a bed of loving care, and let you stay in a restful dwelling, the dwelling on the left. Princes of the earth will kiss your feet. He will make the people of Uruk weep for you, mourn for you, will fill the proud people with woe, and he himself will neglect his appearance after your death. Clothed only in a lion skin, he will roam the open country. And Enkidu listened to the speech of Shamash the warrior. His anger abated, his heart became quiet. There's about 2 lines missing. Come, Shamhat, I shall change your feet. My utterance, which cursed you, shall bless you instead. Governors and princes shall love you. The single-league man shall smite his thigh for you. The double-league man shall shake out his locks for you. The herdsman shall not hold back for you. He shall undo his belt for you. He shall give you ivory, lapis lazuli, and gold. Rings and brooches shall be presents for you. Rain shall pour down for him. His storage drawers shall be heaped full. The diviner shall lead you into the palace of the gods. Because of you, the mother of 7, the honored wife, shall be deserted. Then Enkidu wept, for he was sick at heart. He lay down alone. He spoke what was in his mind to his friend. Listen again, my friend. I had a dream in the night. The sky called out. The earth replied. I was standing in between them. There was a young man whose face was obscured. His face was like that of an Anzu bird. He had the paws of a lion. He had the claws of an eagle. He seized me by my locks, using great force against me. I hit him and he jumped like a kepu toy. He hit me and forced me down like a onager. Like a wild bull, he trampled on me. He squeezed my whole body. I cried out, "Save me, my friend. Don't desert me." But you were afraid and did not help me. You. Then there's 3 broken lines. He hit me and turned me into a dove. My arms like a bird. He seized me, drove me down to the dark horse dwelling of Urkala's god, to the house which those who enter cannot leave, on the road where traveling is one way only, to the house where those who stay are deprived of light, where dust is their food and clay their bread. They are clothed like birds and feathers, and they see no light, and they dwell in darkness. Over the door and the bolt dust has settled. I looked at the house that I had entered, and crowns were heaped up. Those with crowns who had ruled the land from time immemorial, priests of Anu and Elil, regardedly set out cooked meats, set out baked bread, set out cold water from water skins. In the house of dust that I had entered dwelt the Inu and Lagararu priests, dwelt the Isipu and Luma'u priests. Yeah, some of these words are quite difficult. Invite Brens back up to join live. Invite Brens back up to join live. Dwelt the Gudapsu, the Gudapsu priests of the great gods. Dwelt Itana, dwelt Shakan, dwelt Ereshkigal, the queen of earth. Bele Seri, the scribe of earth, was kneeling before her. She was holding a tablet and kept reading aloud to her. She raised her head and looked at me. Who brought this man? Then there's a gap of about 50 lines. And then a gap of about 2 lines. 50 lines for column V, or I guess that would mean column 5, huh? Yeah. Alright then. Experienced of all kinds of troubles, remember me, my friend, and do not forget what I went through. My friend saw an indescribable dream. From the day he saw the dream, his strength was finished. Enkidu lay there the first day, then a second day. The illness of Enkidu as he lay in bed grew worse, his flesh weaker. A third day and the fourth day, the illness of Enkidu grew worse, his flesh weaker. A fifth, sixth, seventh day, 8th, 9th, and 10th. The illness of Enkidu grew worse, his flesh weaker. And 11th and 12th day, his illness grew worse, his flesh weaker. Enkidu, as he lay in bed, Gilgamesh cried out, and my friend is cursing me, because in the midst of I was afraid of the fight. My friend, who was so strong in the fight, cursed me. There's a gap of about 30 lines. And that's it. I'm gonna end the live. I'm honestly kind of tired, and I want to just close my eyes a little bit. So we'll come back to this. Myths from Mesopotamia. We're reading Gilgamesh, and we're on tablet 8. I don't know how many tablets there are.